He's one of the most notorious mobsters in the history of organized crime, Sammy the Bull Gravano. He earned the name at 10 when some older bullies stole his bike. He fought them with such ferocity that some mobsters watching marveled that he went after them like a bull. The name stuck. He eventually rose to second in command of the Gambino crime family, committed 19 mob murders. In 1991, facing life in prison, he turned on his boss, John Gotti, cooperating with the feds, sending Gotti to prison for life. In exchange for his cooperation, Sammy got 5 years. At 75, after 2 stints in prison, he's now our neighbor. He lives here in the valley, starting a new life, ready to tell his story.
People have been talking about me for years, and I've never opened my mouth until recently. But I want them to know who I really am and what I did. The truth.
The truth is complicated.
The mafia is a secret society and a brotherhood. It's been like that for 100 years. Cosa Nostra to me was family. There's a lot of good sides to the mafia. There's bad sides to it, and there's very ugly sides to it.
Like killing people, even your closest friends.
It's your fucking friends who kill you. But I still have that in me to say, you're a fucking ass. You knew you could die for this, but you just kept doing it. And look at the position you put me in by doing this.
How much remorse after a hit? Would you feel conflicted about having just ended someone's life?
Yes, there's a lot of times I felt for them, especially when I had to go to a funeral after I'm part of that murder or I'm the actual killer. But when you break the rules in this life, you die. There's nothing I could do about it. I mean, that's just the way it is.
Did you ever have a perfect hit?
I think I had 19 of them.
Perhaps none more skillful than the brazen 1985 hit on mob boss Paul Castellano.
I planned that entire hit.
Castellano.
Yes. There's never been a hit like this ever done.
Would this be weeks of planning a hit?
This took more than weeks. This took months.
The location and timing could not have been bolder. Gravano chose bustling Manhattan at Christmas time.
Paul Castellano was going to a meeting in Spark Steakhouse. We knew about that in advance. I thought that that amount of people, that amount of confusion, it could be done quickly. And the confusion, nobody would know what's going on. When the guns start blazing, tens of thousands of people running in every which direction would give the whole team plenty of room to slide through and get away. On the Castellano hit, there was 4 shooters because we wanted Tommy Bellotti and Paul Castellano to be hit on both sides of the car. They got out at the same time.
A team of 11 men carried it out.
Did it matter in your mind a hit whether you were pulling the trigger or not?
No, that never mattered to me.
It was a team.
It's a team. Everybody has a job.
Gravano wasn't the shooter that night. He was parked across the street directing the team by walkie-talkie.
You've got drivers, you've got a trigger man, you've got lookout people, you've got a crash car. What's the crash car for?
The crash car, if a police car comes or a car to interfere with it, he crashes into them. Now, he shouldn't have a gun. He should have his own car with his license and everything in his pocket so he can crash into the car.
Just an accident.
Just an accident. Everybody has a job. There's nothing like a team. This is not a gang. These are professional hitmen.
And they carried their mission out with deadly precision. Castellano and his driver died in a hail of bullets, and the entire hit team vanished in the night.
Word was these guys killed Castellano and Tommy Bellotti in front of tens of thousands of people. God knows how many cops were there on duty and off duty all over the place. Their are enormous. These guys don't give a It frightened the whole mob. This has to be the hit of all times.
With Castellano out of the way, John Gotti rose to boss of the Gambino crime family. Sammy the Bull would eventually become Gotti's number 2, the underboss. But Gotti's flamboyant style attracted a lot of attention. Too much attention.
The problem is that John, after this was done, a short time after it, fell in love with himself. Fell in love with the media and the attention.
A rift was developing that would eventually lead Sammy the Bull to do the unthinkable: turn on his boss. Tomorrow night, Sammy the Bull's decision to rat out his boss, John Gotti.
It's more comfortable to call me the rat, but I never ratted in my life. He ratted on me. He broke my f***ing heart. He betrayed me. I gave him everything.
Sammy the Bull's deal with the feds that put him in the witness protection program in Arizona, where trouble found him once more and landed him in prison for 20 years. That's tomorrow night at 9 in part 2 of Sammy the Bull.